How many of you reach for your phone the first thing in the morning? Raise your hand. Come on, parents. I know you do it. Okay. Now imagine, you wake up in the morning, reach for your phone, and immediately, you're pulled into a world of perfect lives, flawless photos, and endless scrolling. This is the world our generation is growing up in. A world where likes and followers are the new currency of self-worth. But what's really happening behind those screens? I'm Jaanvi, and today I'll be talking to you about the effects of social media on teens. By no means am I an expert on this topic, but I have read this book called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, who is a professor at the Stern School of Business at the University of New York. On top of that, I am a teen, and so I've experienced and seen others of my peers experience the effects of social media myself. Let me set the context for you in terms of how big of a problem this is. Daily, there are articles coming out saying that mental health is going down because social media is going up. These articles here are all saying that it's happening specifically for teens. How many of you would agree with that statement? Okay. So these two graphs are from Afterbabble, which is one of Jonathan Haidt's websites. The graph on the left is saying that for teens, young adults, as well as middle-aged adults, anxiety has been increasing for the past couple years. At the same time, suicide rates have been going up for teens. Both of these are linked to more usage and higher uses of social media. Having set the context for you, let me share with you my story. Last year was my first year of middle school, and we all got Chromebooks for the first time, which all of us were using as a chat. Not everyone considers Gmail to be a social media app, but I do, and it was really addicting. And I realized I was spending 8 to 9 hours on it per day. This is coming from a person who still hasn't been exposed to things like TikTok, Snapchat, or Instagram. But so many of my other peers have and are being exposed to these, and it's really taking a toll on their mental health. The average teen spends 2.5 hours on social media every single day. But it's not just those 2.5 hours, but it's the hours and days after that, where whatever you watch, listen to, or read stays in your mind, and it takes away from your focus of whatever you're trying to do at the current moment. And this is what causes mental health to go down. Worse yet, kids have been starting to do dangerous stunts just to get more attention on social media. This kid fell to his death while trying to do a stunt in LA. So many kids are getting hurt and sometimes accidentally killing themselves just to get more likes and followers. So what does Jonathan Haidt say about this topic? These are 4 points from the book. The first one is no smartphones before high school. This is to make sure that the kids, or us, we aren't always used to having social media around us all the time, and we're not in that lifestyle of being on our devices every single day. The second thing is no social media before 16. A lot of the important brain development happens before the age of 16. So getting through those first 16 years and then having social media affects your brain comparatively less. The other 2 points I'm not going to talk about right now because they're not as relevant. But in conclusion, 3 things that we can do to make sure that social media doesn't affect us is 1, to educate ourselves from Afterbabble, which is the website, or the Anxious Generation. On top of that, there's so many other resources online that we can use to learn more about the effects of social media. The second thing is to put it into practice. Learning is not just enough, so implement whatever you've learned and try to track your successes. And the last thing is to be careful around social media by setting boundaries for yourself or keeping track and being aware of whatever you've watched, seen, or listened to. Following these 3 steps will make sure that social media doesn't affect us as much as it used to before. Thank you.
Very good.